So truth be told, I got tired, you know. I got tired in the environment I was working in, you know, especially the company I was working at the time was Motorola Solutions. I really like that company. And in the long run, despite it was a contract job through an agency, you know, I really expected, you know, to move me forward in a long run perspective, but you know, from a divine perspective, it never worked out how the way it's supposed to work out, because you realize, you know, through the years' experience working there, people never had your best interest, you know. Even when you try to show, you know, male and especially female the respect and appreciation and the generosity and the love and the support, they just never showed the interest, you know. They always want to one up on you, always want to feel like they're better than you. They get a little extra, you know, $2 to $3 extra change of raise. They all feel like they're better than you, you know. When they know fully well you have the potential, you get the job done, you can get the work done, you can get the task done. All they have to do is just, you know, train the individual, show them the, you know, the skills and the abilities and the ropes and, you know, the ways of, like, you know, being the best version of yourself in regards to that company. And yeah, they let me go, you know, saying that my contract was ended, you know. Yeah, I was deeply upset. I was deeply, you know, deep down angry and, you know, sad, because it's like, you realize, you know, a company that, you know, you grew up with them, and it's like, you've been there for like 2.5 years, so you pretty much know people, who they are, what they are, their personalities, what they like, what they don't dislike. And yeah, it was a very cultural dynamic. You had like English, Ukrainian, Indian, Russian. It was like a whole cultural dynamic. But you know, they all usually say, you know, in a house that's divided, it cannot stand. You know, so even though they have a culture of people, everybody's segregated and all divided, it's not really, the foundation's not really going to stabilize, you know. So it was unfortunate, you know. I enjoyed a wonderful, you know, experience in working there, and, you know, enjoying their amazing food and potluck, and, you know, constantly buying food, you know. But that's another thing too. I realized, you know, when you're buying food and all that stuff, you got to really balance the diet and balance what, you know, you're intaking, because a lot of time food and work, it can do a very funny thing to your body, you know. So